Hello and welcome to another Doctor's Assistant 1 video, and today I'm taking a look at a Doctor Who book instead of a comic book, but a book. Bookity book. How many times can I say book? But no, in all seriousness, I am taking a look at Doctor Who whographica, an infographic guide to space and time. I have to admit, I adore the cover. I love the cover. It just looks really nice, really. I don't know, it's simplistic with this spiral design, but just looks really nice, and I just like the little Dalek there, really. Yeah, it's almost got like a swirling time vortexy type look, and then on the spine you've got BBC Books, you've also got BBC logo there, obviously. Who it's by, whographica there, Doctor Who, BBC Books. This has been a book on my that's been on my radar for some time now, and I picked it up today because I'll be honest, I did put it, I did ask my mum for it for this book for my birthday, but I didn't end up getting it then. I don't mean to sound like I'm really down about that. I just thought I'd give you that little bit tidbit information. Really, there's just a little bit of inside knowledge there. But you know, I don't mean it to come across like, oh God, what a so and so that she didn't get me that, and that, you know, like I'm a really spoiled brat or anything. I mean, it's just that is what happened, and I mean, I'm not complaining about it. I mean, I've got it now, so it's all right. But I got a bunch of other stuff. There's the blurb. The price, which was £3 off that, so it was £13.99 and not £16.99. So yeah, it's just a really good book. And for those of you who don't know what an infographic is, which at first, I'll be honest, I didn't, it's essentially a posh word for image, essentially, for those of us who don't speak amazingly posh and advanced English. So you've got Chapter 1, The Doctor, Chapter 2, Monsters and Enemies. It goes, has the introduction here in yellow of all things. It has these pages which then highlight the chapter you're on, which is Chapter 1, The Doctor. And it's got this lovely side-on sort of stuff about the first Doctor, you know. Apparently 28% of the pure historicals, or were 28% of all of William Hartnell's stories were pure historicals, which baffles me. I genuinely thought it'd be the other way around, and 72 of them are sci-fi stories, which is incredibly baffling to me. I would have thought it'd have been the opposite way around, that a lot more of his episodes would have been historical. He did a total of 134 episodes, and by episodes I think that includes all of the parts, because here you also have the number of stories. So the number of stories are how many complete stories. So like the 10th Planet is one story, but if you if you count the episodes, it's 4 stories, but it's 4 episodes, but one story. So for every story, it's split up into episodes. That's the way I've always seen it anyway in the classic series. So, you know, so for example, with, as I say, the 10th Planet, that would make up 4 episodes worth of that 134. Whereas that 29, it would only class as one episode, or one story, should I say, sorry. It's just got lots of really interesting and important information, so, you know, and really cool images, really. There's a bit about the Doctor's age and how it just randomly fluctuates so much, you know. It's got really colourful pictures, and I think it's a really good, nice book for, I would say, a kid, but then the only problematic thing there is that a kid would probably not, like a smaller kid who's only been introduced to the new series, really care for the classic series stuff, maybe, and that would just be a bit. I mean, a lot of this is based around the classic series because it basically goes. It's one of the more up-to-date books currently on the market, to my knowledge, in terms of cataloguing Doctor Who, as it's from 1963 to 2016's Husbands of Riversong. So you're only missing out on The Return of Dr. Mysterio, The Pilot, Smile, Thin Ice, and Knock Knock, and then tomorrow's episode, Oxygen, and that. So unfortunately it doesn't include those ones, but besides that, it has all of the, modern series Doctors besides, as I say, those few ones. And can I just say, this is hilarious. It's a bit about who or what the actor's favourite monster was from the Doctor Who mythology and lore, or Doctor Who mythology. And Tom Baker, being Tom Baker, said the 6th floor at the BBC. And so then naturally they've got a picture of Mr. Tom Baker and then the BBC and a little arrow pointing that it's like the 6th floor, which I thought was very humorous when I finally found that. A sort of colour palette of information here of like how many episodes have we had with the Daleks, which is 105, 51 with the Cybermen, 23 with the Sontarans, 88 episodes with the Master, and then the biggest, I think, thing is 563 episodes without the Daleks, Cybermen, Sontarans, and the Master. And I think episodes, again, I think it's categorizing them more minutely in terms of course, categorizing it by, the episodes as in, the part, so in this case, the 10th Planet would be a 4-part episode, so that's like 4 times we've seen them in that one episode, in that one story, if that makes any sense. But it's just visually really pleasing, to see all this information correlated, should I say, or all this data is just culminated in this book very neatly and very professionally and really nicely, really. It's nice to have all this in one place, really, all the stuff about the about Mind the Gap, about the Wilderness Years, about Sarah Jane Adventures, about all sorts of stuff, all sorts of bits and pieces, the timeline of River Song, visually just being put down on paper is really nice, and that, just lots of really interesting information about the 7th Doctor, about the Sonic, about the TARDIS, about the Master, and how tall he is, and all the different incarnations, the Daleks, how many times we've seen the Daleks in colour and in black and white, and all manner of stuff, from all sorts of stuff, and even this bit, which I just read recently, just before recording this video even, but the longest amount of time to do a Doctor's Era, or to complete a Doctor's Era and or marathon, would be Tom Baker's starting at Robot Part 1 to Logopolis Part 4. You would spend 2 days, 21 hours, 6 minutes and 54 seconds sat in front of the TV if you marathoned all of his episodes in one go, which personally, I have to admit, even I would not recommend personally, which I know, baffling. Nice picture of a Dalek there, as I was saying earlier, black and white Dalek episodes, colour Dalek episodes, Well, that's the thing, yeah, like, those ones are the black and white Daleks, black and white Dalek episodes, and then the colour episodes and that, and then you've got like a Dalek made out of them, which I think is pretty cool, to be fair. All sorts of stuff, and bits and pieces. I think if you're like me and you like having informational books about about Doctor Who or like Doctor Who or information about Doctor Who and data about the show, the greatest show in the galaxy, then well, I think this is a must-have, because it's all it all culminates and is correlated, or it's all being collected. It's all being collected and is culminated in this one book very snugly and nicely in that. And my only criticism with books like this, even if it was not Doctor Who and it was, I don't know, Star Wars or Rick and Morty or, I don't know, a Community book based on something like this, on the show Community, even if it was on any of those shows, I think I'd still have the same criticism, which is that, with any show that's still on air and you do a book like this, the problematic thing that all these books fall into, and therefore is a big criticism for me as a consumer, is that eventually this will be out of date, and then I'll probably have to buy another one, you know. But I guess the only way they can remedy that is obviously having the greatest show in the galaxy be cancelled, and well, I personally don't want that. But yeah, so it goes from 1963 to 2016 with Husbands of River Song. So it's not that out of date yet. I mean, it's only, as I say, one Christmas special and a handful of, you know, series 10 episodes behind, and that's about it. So it's not even a whole full series behind yet. So if you'd have bought this prior to Husbands of River Song, and that if it was released before Husbands of River Song, which I don't think it would have been released before or after Husbands of River Song, should I say, and you'd have bought it in the horrible 2016 drought of Doctor Who, then it would have been up to date. But obviously then the show would have done the unspeakable and had the 2016 Christmas special, Return of the Doctor Mysterio, and that, because that was the only episode we got in 2016. It was 2015 that we got, or back end of 2015 that we got the Husbands of River Song. I'm getting all the names and dates mixed up, sorry. Oh, not dates, but years. Anyway, is this a must-have for any Doctor Who fan? Yes. If you're really interested in finding out more information about Doctor Who, it's a must-have. If you want a lot of information about Doctor Who in a convenient place, then yes, pick this up. If you want to find out more information about Doctor Who, then yeah, this is a must-have. Whether it's the classic series or the new series, there's something for everyone. Thanks for watching, comment, rate, and subscribe.